Good morning, Intenders.
Good morning.
Welcome back to Morning Intentions. Today is Wednesday, October 29th, and we're back at it once again, discussing living beyond the hustle of hustle culture by creating a worth-centered life.
I feel like we made a huge discovery yesterday.
You've been talking about it nonstop.
I know, we've been talking about this for a day now. I had absolutely no idea that someone could have a feelings to-do list. I only thought that to-do lists were about tasks. That has opened my eyes. And can I share what we were talking about, Ada?
Yeah. Sure.
Ada, it's not that she lives in squalor or filth. I don't want to ever give that impression, okay? But Ada's idea of an orderly home is different than my idea of an orderly home. For me, it's everything is in its place, everything is polished, everything is to perfection in my mind. Now, can I accomplish that? No, that's why I keep on going every day. That's why I have this to-do list of tasks. But that is for me what my, you would say, way of life is. Now, Ada, I never put this together, but she doesn't care about order, really. She doesn't care if things are as clean as maybe I think they should be. She doesn't care about that. What she tends to focus on is she will tell me occasionally, oh gosh, I really need to do some cleaning this weekend because I'm starting to feel frustrated. And I would think, that's okay. Yeah, you need to do some cleaning. I'm not going to disagree with you there. But the feeling of frustration, tacking that on, has always been interesting to me. Like
You never understood that?
No, like you would always add on, like you're feeling this way, so now you have to bring some order or cleanliness in. It wasn't, well, I want it to look a certain way or it to be a certain way, therefore I need to do some cleaning. It was the same thing when you were really little. I mean, I'm thinking about this now real time. You wouldn't study because, well, the teacher gave you an assignment and this was your homework assignment, so then this task was on your to-do list. You would study when you were starting to feel like uneasy because you didn't know the material, because you didn't really care about doing your homework. What was your motto? Like, you're just going to show up and take the test. You probably do just fine. And you did. But it was, you would start studying when you were starting to feel, would you say, self-conscious or a little uneasy about your knowledge base? You didn't study because the teacher told you to study. You didn't study because you had a homework assignment due. You studied when you started to have to feel a certain way.
Yeah, the pressure of getting in trouble because my grades weren't what they should be.
Okay, so that's how this would play out. I didn't know that there was this difference until yesterday. And so I think it's really important for us to understand what the motivations are behind what we're doing. Spoiler alert, now we're only going to announce this once before next week. Starting next month in November, we're going to spend an entire month on what is your why. But I have got to say that I'm so pleased that we had this discussion that we had yesterday and carrying it over to today, because I didn't even think about your feelings being part of your why, because I'm so task-oriented. And I know I'm not the only person that's task-oriented, and I know that you're not the only person who's feeling-oriented. And then isn't this kind of throwing a monkey wrench into things, because I can never remember the words that people use. Like, even as a coach, and I'm thinking, oh, I'll ask Ada, like, what did they say last time? Because I can't remember exact words. I can only remember how I felt last time. This is how I felt during the last session. I don't really recall the words. I mean, I recall some of them, but I don't recall the words like you recall the words. I go off of feelings like in my interactions with folks or walk into a store. I don't really remember what I saw, but I remember how I felt. So then this is a different iteration of it. It's like now you're the feelings person here.
Even then, we have to take it one step more. Whether you're a task-oriented person or a feeling-oriented person, you're still thinking that your joy or your happiness or your worth and value only come from what gives you those feelings or what gets that task accomplished. You're still basing your inner experience on what is happening in your outer world.
Well, you still have a to-do list no matter where it originates.
Absolutely. And no matter what you're trying to accomplish with that to-do list, whether it's to feel a certain thing or it's to do a certain thing, you're still basing it on the to-do list.
And what we're trying to move all of us to is replacing the to-do list with the to-be list. Because when we're able to do that, then we shift the focus of every day to self-awareness rather than performance. Because even if you're hustling for a feeling, it still is
hustling.
You're still hustling for some sort of a performance. It's not just I'm just going to be.
And it would be just as stressful, and it is just as stressful, speaking from experience, as I imagine or have witnessed the anxiety or the downness of not getting all your to-do tasks done.
Disappointment.
Yes.
You can take it from disappointment all the way down to, I mean, I don't do this, but I know a number of people that I have known, like there's self-loathing that comes up if they don't pass the class that in a way that they wanted to, or they don't get the promotion that they were working so hard for. Then we can go into a really deep, dark place, no matter whether it's a task-oriented to-do list or a feelings-oriented to-do list.
Right. Either way, we're not grounded in our value. We're not grounded in our worth. We're saying our worth and value come from something else. More importantly and more deeply, something outside of us.
Gosh, okay, I'm just having an aha. I'm just going to share it here real time. I remember we were working with this couple. Now, if you're a couple that we're working with now, I'm not talking about you. This is a couple from
Some people think we are talking about them. We're not. We do not talk about
most of our clients that listen
or-
to the podcast will say, were you talking about me?
Yeah.
So I'm
no.
not talking about anybody. This is like a couple from like 5 or 6 years ago. But the woman, her to-do list was based on whether they were getting XYZ done. Did we get this done? Do we get this done? Get this done? And then the husband, really his to-do list was feelings. Did we feel connection? Did we feel all the things? And they had a very difficult time finding true connection. I'm thinking if you and I would have understood this, we would have been able to help them better. I know I will never be the same after yesterday. Because this is where the great disconnect comes from. Like I'll walk into your place and I'll go, whoa, I couldn't stay here very long.
Okay, is it really that bad?
It is. It is on occasion. It's like I couldn't stay here very long. And
I just want to defend myself. It's not that bad.
But see, it's just all it has to be is different than I would have it.
Yeah, that's true.
Right?
Yeah.
But then you might walk into my place, and even if it looks perfect, if I'm not welcoming, if I don't sit down and talk with you, then you would say, this wasn't so good.
Yeah, you can have it a lot dirtier and we can have a better connection. That would be more important to me.
Yes.
But different people want and experience things differently.
They
Experience
do.
situations differently. And we want to get beyond all of that because, like I mentioned, it's still based on something you're doing outside of yourself? Are you doing something to accomplish a to-do that's task-oriented and saying, I will feel good when I complete these tasks? Or are you saying, I will feel good when I feel these certain feelings? Either way, that worth and that value all comes from something that you have to do outside of yourself. And we're trying to redefine success. We're trying to redefine what we're working towards in life, not something that we have to hustle for. Because if your value is inherent and you'll have all the value you can ever have simply because you exist, you don't actually need to work for anything. You don't need to hustle for anything. You already got everything.
You don't have to hustle for tasks or feelings.
No, you can do the tasks, you can feel the feelings, but those tasks and feelings don't add to your value and they don't take it away. And Annette is giving me the signal. Ada, we could talk for another 24 hours right here. So with that, our intention for today is...
I do this thing, I say, Ada, cut it off.
She does the zip it motion. Our intention for today is, today I will focus on self-awareness rather than my performance. Today I will focus on self-awareness rather than my performance. I'll take it one step further, or my judgment of my own performance. Thank you so much for joining us today and every day. We so appreciate you. Our day is better because you are part of our day. See you tomorrow.
See you then.